G'day guys, Dane here from Clarkie's NRL column. Welcome back to another interview. Today I'm joined by Ryan Eckford, last weekend's trial commentator for NRL.com. He commentated the Manly Sea Eagles versus the Sydney Roosters game. Ryan, how are you today?
Yeah, very good, Dane.
Thank you very much for coming
Or
on now.
Clarkie.
Yeah, whichever one you prefer, man. I don't mind. Let's start off
All right.
straight away. What did it mean to make your commentary debut? Because I understand it was quite a long road for yourself.
Yeah, it's been a long road. I guess anyone would say that a few years ago, finished up at the University of Newcastle doing a Bachelor of Communication and then doing a honours year where I researched about the impact of sports journalism in a regional Australian city, and that regional Australian city was Newcastle, where I got to interview for what you call a thesis, a number of well-known sports commentators and sports journalists within the city of Newcastle, like a who's who of sports commentators and sports journalists in Newcastle.
Mm.
But then, after that, during that time I was doing a internship, if you like, at the 1233 or ABC Newcastle as it's known now.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, that sort of came to an end because they wanted people who were doing a university degree because of their insurance policies,
Sure.
so to speak.
Yeah.
Then after that, I experienced all 6 months or so of part of the bullying and torture from a media organisation in Newcastle, another one.
Okay.
And then after that, there was a bit of confusion between another couple of media organisations as to whether they wanted me or not. And then sort of after that, I kept looking around for opportunities, including getting in touch with a media organisation in Sydney, which I stayed in contact with for a few months. But despite they praised me for my tenacity, so to speak, but they couldn't find a spot for me, which it felt pretty down after that for a little bit. But
No doubt.
I managed to get back on the horse, so to speak. Then, not too long after that, the opportunity, I sort of contacted Joe Abbey from Nine Honey, she'd recently gone through a tough time with, I think, a divorce with her partner. I just wanted to wish her well, say how sorry I was that it happened, and so to speak.
Yep.
Then I sort of told her about myself, and that's how the story sort of came about.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong here. So at a young age, you were diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome.
Yeah, I was there.
And then at a later age of 4, you were diagnosed with, the article reads here, being on the autism spectrum. Am I correct in both of those, Ryan?
Yeah, I was sort of diagnosed on the autism spectrum sort of
Okay.
Early on, and then sort of a little bit later on when they sort of confirmed sort of a diagnosis of Asperger's, so to speak.
Yeah. Can I go back a little bit? When you were speaking there,
Yeah,
you said after you attained all the qualifications required to obviously step into the journalism commentary world, you had some trouble at some workplaces. You said you were bullied at some stages there. I was just wondering
yeah.
if you feel comfortable, if you could touch on that for our viewers at home, because I really want to paint the picture of the long, extensive road that you've gone through to finally make this debut and just how much sweeter I'm sure that made it.
Well, like, I won't say like who the media organisation was,
Okay.
but like, but they like all basically sort of they all said, well, they didn't like value like first of all when I first met them in person,
Mm-hmm.
like my degree, or like me doing an honours year at the University of Newcastle, and like saying that I shouldn't have done that, and like and that person is saying that he wouldn't have done that. But I actually learned a lot doing that honours year, like particularly sort of in the researching skill part of it, which it really helped me improve my research skills doing that honours year, and that's sort of it's helped me now to like doing my commentaries, and now like doing the trial game for NRL.com, like really deeply researching into different players, even players that I haven't necessarily seen before.
Yep.
Which like that's sort of the hard thing about like a trial game is not that easy to call, and there's certain things that people like viewing from the outside don't necessarily see, like compared to what the commentator sees, that like little things that affect sometimes the performance of the commentator, which is sort of a deep and broad topic.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like if thrown up a pre-season trial match compared to a normal NRL game, for example, like you've thrown up a multitude of variables that you don't necessarily see with an NRL game. Typically with a normal NRL game, as you would know, Dane, that the sides, come out on Tuesday before 4 o'clock.
Absolutely, and then of course that gives you your time to research into which players are playing, and I guess on a broader spectrum as well. They, normally you'll have more well-recognised players playing each round in the NRL, whereas, as you said, a trial game, I suppose one of those variables is a lot of the younger players coming through the grades do, I suppose, get their chance to trial. Let's go back to commentary real quick, Ryan. Now, I understand you did a few SoundCloud calls in your room to actually practice and hone in your skills. So I was just wondering, what can we search to find that on the internet? And second question, how long did you sort of do that for?
Basically, we'll go back to the first part, like when after like those sort of 6 months of when I was bullied, so to speak, or like by that media organisation, I then sort of afterwards started to do my own blog, which is called Ryan Eckford Sports.
Okay.
And like within that, I decided to start doing some commentary. So I started doing that from there on in.
Awesome. So
and
just
like
written that down. RyanEckfordSports.com, is it?
Yeah, I'll double check to make sure the
awesome.
Website address. But like if you put in the search Ryan Eckford Sports, you
Sure.
Should be able to find it within your Google search engine.
Awesome.
But like I've been doing that since then. But like it's sort of really the commentary side of things has sort of really ramped up over the last year or so, sort of thing. I decided to share commentaries with different people, and sort of including well-known NRL commentators that are on Twitter.
And is that how this opportunity came about to commentate the trial? Was it through sending your work out to other people?
Well, like the story I did with Nine Honey, which a person, the sports editor of the Sydney Morning Herald, Chris Barrett,
Yep.
Saw that the article I wrote for Nine Honey and contacted me, and then not long after that gave me a couple of contacts that he had. One was a Fox Sports contact, another one was a NRL contact, and from there, basically towards the end of the season, I sent the contact at the NRL just emailed, just checking to see if anything was happening around, and then about 4 weeks ago, I received an email from another person at the NRL, not the particular contact that Chris gave me, but another contact, asking me, do you want to call this NRL trial match at Central Coast Stadium between the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles and the Sydney Roosters? And that's sort of how that opportunity came about, not only from that contact, but also from the work I've done doing commentaries, basically sitting up in my bedroom. And towards the back end of last year, I started, along with putting up like the links to SoundCloud, like sort of in my blog posts. I've also took some photos of how I set up my commentaries and how much research I do, and for my calls, and the work I put in.
I've got to ask, Ryan, after you received that call telling you that this opportunity had come up, what was sort of your initial reaction? How were you feeling? Were you just over the moon, speechless? Sort of give me an insight. How did it feel?
Oh, I was sort of surprised. I guess you could say. Then I asked a couple of, my mum and my dad, just asking that I received this email, and just making sure it was okay for me to go ahead with this, and they gave me the green light, and then all sort of ramped up from there.
Well, Ryan, it was an awesome call, so I've got to ask, is there any further calls planned? Has there been any further contact with this particular person from the NRL in regards to potentially doing some more work in that area?
Oh, not for... they said I did a good job, which is a good thing, so I think they'll probably ask me back, but they didn't necessarily say that at the time, but by the feedback they gave me, I think they'll probably ask me back when next time they do it. But I've been in contact with a few other people as well for potential opportunities, but nothing sort of seemingly at the moment in concrete at the moment. But I'm keeping in touch with a number of people at the moment, like some well-known, some lesser known people around. But like, as you would know, it's a tough world, regardless, I guess, of your circumstances, to really break in truly, I guess you could say.
No doubt, man. I've been doing this for over 4 years, and Primarily, I'd like to keep all my work sort of independent. And of course, you do have those other companies reaching out to you here and there. But as you said, it is very hard to set actually something in concrete, isn't it?
Yeah, but the people been sharing my commentaries with like the SoundCloud commentaries. Have liked my calls and enjoyed them for what they are, experienced commentators like what I do. So I think the key thing I feel like is perseverance and never giving up on the dream, no matter what your circumstances are.
Absolutely, and you sort of just touched on it there, and I will say, in life you only get better with experience. So my question for you is, what is your message for any other young kid chasing their dreams, aspiring to potentially achieve something similar to what you have? If you could have a message to these young kids, Ryan, sort of what would it be?
Well, what I just said, like perseverance and never giving up, and also follow your dream, and also work out, I guess, the best way for you to do something cool, the way you want to become a commentator, a journalist, or whatever profession, whether it's within the media or not within the media. Like, work out what's the best way for you to go about doing that, and the best way for you, like, to prepare and the style that you like to do whatever you want to do in, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan, I wish you all the best for the upcoming season. Thank you so much for stopping by and giving me your time today, and all the best, my friend.
Yeah, so thank you, Dane, and thank you to all your viewers and listeners out there on Clarkie's column. I hear it's a good thing.
Thanks for that, mate. I really appreciate that. You have yourself a great day, all right?
Yeah, thank you, Dane. You got what you were after, or?
Yeah, happy with that, man. Cheers.